How's everybody doing? Hope y'all are all doing well. We're going to go ahead and jump in here and talk about CLA. So let me just share my screen here. And let me make sure I can see the chat in case y'all got any questions. All right, so can everybody see my screen? Pretty good. Cool. So welcome to E for Youth, where we employ change. And our mission here, I always like to say we do all this, but we basically connect creative young people of color with creative art careers or creative media careers or just careers in general, because, you know, we have like 10, he went to medical school, even though he's really a creative. So you'll hear about some of these people as we go through the CLA and stuff like that. But yeah, basically we connect y'all by doing hands-on training, active mentorship. You know, we give you exposure, real world opportunities, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. So E for Youth means we engage young BIPOC ages 16 to 24. It's not always 24. Sometimes it's older than that. We've had another person you'll hear about is Chris Robinson. After he graduated from college, he worked for 5 years as a cook at a restaurant. Anyway, he told me, you know, one of the first things he found when he found out about us was, man, I wish I would have had this when I was in college. And we empower them with the knowledge of their own value. We educate them about pathways to creative and tech industries, and we employ them to affect both immediate and lasting change. And Michaela Dumas, she's now a copywriter at White & Kennedy up in New York City. She was a creative mentor with us for 3 years and also worked as a digital docent. And I remember the first time she walked into a classroom to be a creative mentor, and she was terrified, stiffed, and everything else. And what's really amazing is to see the transformation that happened as she started collaborating with these high school students at our Get Creative clubs, and watching her skills just unfold and watching her hone her skills and watching her just learn and put to practice a lot of things that, you know, sometimes at school, they talk about things, but you don't really put them into real world practice. So that's part of what we do, is help you put them into real world practice. And Michaela's don't touch with us. So, you know, we'll probably have her on as a guest speaker at some point too. So what is our Creative Leadership Academy? So essentially what it is, it's made up of digital apprentices. So if this is your first time hearing about us and, you know, you fill out an application, you'll become a digital apprentice, which is essentially, we'll talk about what those responsibilities are and all that. But when you do, you'll find employment pathways, either as a digital docent doing the Austin Digital Heritage Project, which we'll talk about more in detail, either at a Get Creative club, at one of our high schools that we work with, and or even get internships and employment with industry partners and sister nonprofits. And basically what we do is we help you accelerate your growth. And, you know, Lily here, she was in our summer CLA a couple years ago. And right after she finished our summer CLA, I believe we hired her like not even a month or two after she was, you know, this was during the pandemic. We hired her, and she's been a creative mentor and doing some digital docent stuff as well. But, you know, if you read her testimonial there, that's a pretty strong testimonial. So I want to introduce you to our senior staff, because we're going to talk about these programs. You've already met Carl. He's our founder and executive director. We also have Janaea, who's also here. She's our development and operations manager. I'm Humberto, I'm the education director. And then also you're going to hear from Cynthia Reese, who's our Austin Digital Heritage Project program manager. So I want to talk about creative mentors. I work very closely with the creative mentors. They work at high schools. Right now, we're at Aikens, Crockett, and McCullum High School, and we have some after-school clubs, and we have some clubs that are going on during the day. But essentially, we work with high school students so that they can become digital apprentices once they graduate from high school, and eventually hopefully become either creative mentors, digital docents, and or also get internship opportunities. And so that is the pathway and kind of the ecosystem right there. When you're a creative mentor, we meet weeklies on Mondays and Thursdays from 7:45 to 8:45. And that's so that we can talk about both, how they're growing and how their skills are developing, as well as how they're running their clubs. And when you're a creative mentor, you get employed by us and you work 10 hours a week. And this is how it's broken up into the hours. Then we have our digital docents, and they work with Cynthia on our Austin Digital Heritage Project and other things as well. A digital docent, like it says there, is a person who acts as a guide by collecting and curating oral histories through a combination of immersive storytelling interactions, physical tours, and events. But they also do production work. So we have all kinds of digital docents with different kinds of production skills, whether it be like in video, music, graphic design, things like that. And so basically, we're going to go a little bit more into detail about the Austin Digital Heritage Project here in just a bit. Carl and Cynthia will talk a little bit, we'll talk quite a bit more about it and what they're doing. So this is just a little bit about what a digital docent does. And there's 10 right there. I mentioned he's now in medical school. He's a first-year medical student. And so digital docents also work 10 hours a week. They spend an hour at a weekly meeting, and then they do production hours for 5 hours, and then capacity building activities for 4 hours. And creative mentors also do capacity building activities, which I should elaborate on, is that that's an investment on themselves. So working on their portfolio, working on their resume, working on networking, anything like that, attending, we're going to talk about creative pathway sessions. We're going to talk about Health Dojo and some other activities that help you grow as a person. So not only are you contributing to Eat for Youth, but we're also investing in you, and we're investing these hours in you to help you develop and hone your skills, hone your talents, and all that stuff. And then we have our digital apprentices. And these are some of the responsibilities. Essentially, a digital apprentice is a volunteer. So we don't employ digital apprentices, but they come on as volunteers. We do give them a $250 stipend per semester. You just have to meet the 20 hours a month quota. But basically, you attend the meetings, participate in the Austin Digital Heritage Project, do production work, and there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff I'm going to talk about a little bit later here in the presentation, of opportunities that you have, as well as attending meetings that help you develop your portfolio, your resume, your skills, help you career map, and do all those things as well. And the digital apprentices are led by Duke, our lead creative mentor. I believe he's here in the meeting. Are you here, Duke? I thought I saw him. Maybe he's not. But he's the one who leads the meetings, and he collaborates with you to do career mapping, hone your skills, develop your portfolios and your resumes. So you'll be seeing a lot of him in the meetings. And those meetings, beginning next week, will be on Mondays and Thursdays from 8:15 to 9:15 p.m. We have, for some of you who were digital apprentices before, we did move the meeting times, mainly so that I can be a little more involved in the meeting times, because they were always happening during the creative mentor meeting. So now we did it so that I can at least jump on for 30 minutes to come in and see how I can assist y'all with anything you might need. So all digital apprentices are expected to attend at least one of these meetings a week. And so, like I mentioned, digital apprentices get a $250 stipend at the end of the semester. So you have to meet the 20-hour quota. So it's really 5 hours a week that you have to put in. One of those hours is by attending the weekly digital apprentice meeting. The other hour is attending the Austin Digital Heritage Project weekly meeting. And then you have 1.5 hours to do any kind of E for Youth or ADHP production work. And then another 1.5 hours to actually work on your portfolio, work on your resume, like actually do those things that you need to do to help you start leveling up. So next, I'm going to talk about the 2022 spring semester schedule and how it's going to roll out. We're going to start with the Austin Digital Heritage Project. And this is a way for students to tell their stories and close the digital divide. And I'm going to turn it over here to Carl and Cynthia so they can talk more in detail about it.
Thanks, Humberto. I'm Carl, and I'm sure Cynthia will be joining us sooner or later. Oh, there you are. Hello, hello.
Oh, and real quick, Carl, I did see that Duke got kicked out and then he came back in. I just wanted to give him an opportunity real quick to say hi to the group if he's back and able, because he will be leading those apprentice sessions that Humberto was talking about.
Sure.
And there we go. All right. Duke.
Yes.
Hi. Hi. My name is Duke Nguyen. I will be the one in charge of most of CLA related meetings. Usually, first person you guys come to when you guys need any help is me. And if it's beyond my help, I will pass it on to the leader team. I will basically the one who meet you all the time. Basically working with portfolio and working with whatever work you guys have on to give critiques or help you guys improve on your work.
Cool. Thank you, Duke.
Yes. Thanks, Duke. Duke is always lots of fun. So Austin Digital Heritage Project, what is it exactly? So I'm going to share my screen here. And do you all see a map on your screen right now?
Yes.
Great. So this is EVA, the E4 Virtual Archive. And if you look here, this is a map of Austin. And this is I-35. And each one of these dots represents an immersive story that our digital docents and apprentices have researched and put together. So to give you an example of this, let me see. I'm going to go to the Doris Miller Auditorium. And I'll just show you briefly. So a big part of the Digital Heritage Project is that history hides in plain sight. And what we are really focused on as digital docents is that when Humberto said to collect oral histories, is that we want you out there in the community working with particularly older adults to capture their stories, researching different locations around the city, and really putting together these stories that and interactive or immersive experiences that really bring that history to life. And there can be any number of stories just about one location. So the idea is that, hey, we have 10 of these stories right now. Could we have 1,000 in a year? And could we train and hire you all to do that work? You see what I'm saying? And also we want to be able to educate people that are in this city about the history, about the folks that are being essentially erased right now. And so at the same time, we want to give you all the skills that are going to help you be successful so that, as we say, you can afford that $22 rotisserie chicken. See? So this is a Doris Miller Auditorium, and we have a 360 shot of that. And if you play the video.
Located on Rosewood Park, the Doris Miller Auditorium was posthumously built on April 10th, 1944, by the United States Civilian Conservation Corps for Doris Dory Miller, America's first African-American to be awarded the Navy Cross. A native of Waco, Texas, his heroics were recognized during the invasion of Pearl Harbor in the following ways: rescuing wounded sailors, including the captain of the USS West Virginia, and manned an anti-aircraft machine gun until he ran out of ammo.
So I just play that to give you a sense of the different types of work that you can do. If you're a musician, there's opportunity for you to create. If you're a graphic artist, there's opportunity for you to create. If you're a photographer, if you're a researcher. And the great thing about this is that you get to work directly with professionals that get paid to do this type of work. And right now, the folks that are participating now are working with a local company called Z Prime to actually do augmented reality experiences as well about some of these locations. And during South by Southwest, we're going to be able to showcase some of that work, and people will be able to actually take that work and publish a social post on Facebook and Instagram. I don't know if y'all still use Facebook and Instagram. I guess it's like y'all on TikTok now. I guess we have to share some stuff on TikTok. Anyway, I say that to say this is an opportunity by participating in the Digital Heritage Project to really get you all exposure, access to skills, get some money in your pocket, and get you to really start to develop relationships with industry professionals that are out there. Another component of that is these same types of skills that you learn working with us. We want you all to be able to go into our schools and work with our sister nonprofits that are working with local youth and teach them to use these same skills to tell their own stories so that they can explore their neighborhoods, and so that they can actually, and also really start to understand and get a sense of who they are and what their time and place is. So the idea for us ultimately is we're really trying to build a pipeline of thousands of young Black and Brown people that are digitally literate, have design thinking skills, understand the basics of coding, and are going to really lift our economy and our people to new heights in the coming years. At least that's the hope. Anyway, I say all of that. I've shared that with you, and I think that's pretty much it about the Digital Heritage Project. And I'll pass it on to Cynthia to talk about, I believe, social media.
Are we already at social media, Umberto? I wasn't sure on the presentation.
I don't know. I just yammered on and I figured, hey, that'd be a good place to land, but we can land elsewhere.
So let me close out ADHP stuff here real quick with this.
Okay. All right.
So the Austin Digital Heritage Project sessions take place virtually every Wednesday from 7:45 to 8:45. Whoops, my bad. And all the CLA participants, like all the digital apprentices and digital docents, are expected to attend. And there'll be more of a schedule here. I'll show you later. So now we jump onto the social media team, and these are some of the posts that they have up on Instagram. And I'll let Cynthia talk about that. Do you want me to keep this up, Cynthia, or do you want to share your screen?
Yeah, no, that's fine. I think that that's okay. So I am Cynthia Reese and I am the program manager at E4. So I work a lot with the ADHP team on Wednesday nights, but also we started the social media team meetings back in about August. And currently we have about 5 campaigns that we're running. So on this screen, you can see there are 3 campaigns. Actually, wait, there's 4 campaigns listed. And one is why join the CLA. So we're featuring former members and what they're doing right now. Oh,
You lost that.
yeah. Umberto, would you reshare your screen, please?
Yeah, hold on. I lost.
All good.
My cable got tripped up. Sorry. I need to find where that is.
Yeah, and if y'all aren't familiar with social media campaigns, this is a good way to learn, and we're learning right along with you. I'm a former high school English teacher, and now I'm the director, like the program manager here. And social media is not something that I've ever done, except for like posting pictures of my dog on Instagram. But Instagram is actually a huge marketing tool and can actually help us get people. Like, how many of you found out about our programs because of social media? Maybe drop it in the chat. Like, I saw Instagram or I saw Facebook, a LinkedIn post. It's a way for us to connect with a bigger audience, not just our participants, but also our donors, because we really rely on donors to keep our programs afloat. So the campaigns that I was going to show you, we've got the CLA. Actually, Umberto, I think I can share my screen real quick.
Okay, hold on. Let me share mine.
Or you got it back up?
Oh, okay. Hold on. Well, no, you go ahead and share.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. Let me get my thing.
And also, you all do get to work with people that do social media stuff for a living. That's a big part of this as well. So you get access to pros, and they'll teach you the ins and outs of making this stuff work.
Okay, so for this, here's the campaigns that we have currently running right now. And this is what I mean by a campaign. So the first one says, hey, reminder, Creative Leadership Academy, the virtual session that we're having tonight. So over the past 2 weeks, we've posted that multiple times. Well, somebody has to go in to Canva and create these posts with the captions. So that's one campaign. The second one is thank yous to our donors, multiple sponsors that we have. That one is an ongoing. And again, somebody has to grab those logos and create the actual, what is that called? The graphic for it. The third campaign is why join the CLA, where we're highlighting former members of the CLA who are now in, full-time careers, and they've come through the E4 programs. The fourth one is the ATEX Get Creative Virtual Club, which we're opening for high schoolers. And then the fifth one, I think it's on here, is just getting paid to join the CLA, right? Like understanding what the CLA is. And then eventually, one of the biggest campaigns we're going to work on over the next few weeks is Amplify Austin. Again, trying to get those donors to make sure that we still have funding for our programs. So all of this has to do with content creation, graphics, learning our branding colors, how to use software like Canva. And we do have people that come into our workshops on Tuesdays to kind of walk us through how to build a social media calendar, how to schedule the posts, and then even as granular as like what hashtags to use. So if you have any interest in using these platforms, learning a little bit more about them, the social media meetings as of right now are optional, but I highly encourage them because it just looks really good on your resume to be able to have this skill set. And that's all for social media.
Cool. Can y'all see my screen again? Yes, no, yeah, okay. So social media team meets virtually Tuesday, 7:30 to 8:30. And again, you're welcome to participate, if you're a digital apprentice. Next up, we have the What Once Was project. And I'll let Cynthia talk about that too.
Okay, so the What Once Was project is actually one of our newest endeavors, and it's a collaboration between the Austin Digital Heritage Project, our partners at Six Square, and then a solo designer, Harper Buin. She actually used to work for GSD&M, and now she's on her own. So it's a really, it's been great for our docents and mentors to talk to her about freelance work and things like that. And we are going to have a huge event on March 12th at the Carver Museum. The What Once Was project is basically focused on providing AR experiences. So if you were to hold up your phone to one of the locations we're highlighting, which one of them is called the Victory Grill on East 11th Street, you'll be able to hold up your phone and then an AR experience would pop up as you're pointing your phone over that location to show you what used to be there, what once was. And we're hoping to build multiple locations like this. What Carl showed you with the Austin Digital Heritage Project had VR experiences where we incorporate like 360 images, but the What Once Was project, the biggest focus is learning the Spark AR and how to incorporate that into that program. And that team meets with Harper. We call it Team Harper. She meets randomly with those docents and mentors, the members of the CLA, but it's usually between the hours of like 6 and 7 p.m. And it's on everybody's schedule. So that changes kind of weekly. But again, that builds your communication skills, your resume, and then also your portfolio for any work that you do with this project. You could feature it on your portfolio.
Cool, thanks, Cynthia. So the next thing is our Creative Pathways talks and workshops. We started doing that during the pandemic, and right now what we're going to do is we'll schedule them ahead of time, and we'll give you at least 2 weeks notice when we get them scheduled. Because that requires us to reach out to people and all this. And right now we're in the process of planning out kind of like the rest of the semester. But we do have those. We encourage you to join them because they're very helpful. You get to learn from creative professionals. And we also have, you can also go to e4u.org/creative-pathways. And you can view all the ones that we recorded in the last 2 years. We have a bunch up there. Like we have a ton up there. So just go to that link and you'll be able to watch any of the ones from the past. And we always encourage you to connect with these creative professionals because they really care about our mission. They care about our participants, our CLA participants, and they want to see you succeed and find a career that's right for you. So take advantage of that. Those are on there. Also during the pandemic, we started something called the Health Dojo because as y'all well know, life is stressful. And then, throw on top of that, the pandemic, the social unrest, and just all the things that are going on, just the past few days, the boil water notice. That stuff is real because then it throws stuff off, right? But what we're doing with Health Dojo, so the reason I called it dojo too is because I'm really into martial arts, and it's basically like it says there, it's a Japanese word for school or training hall, and that's what it is. Like you just you train. And so part of overcoming these things, like personally, I struggle, with depression and anxiety. That's something I've always struggled with as a kid. I just didn't realize it till I was way into my adulthood. And I didn't realize there was ways to do it without taking a ton of drugs and being a zombie, like most, some people are, right? Because I see it. So what we're gonna do is we're only gonna do it once a month. It's gonna be the second Tuesday of the month. And it's also just gonna be, Cynthia's gonna lead quite a bit of these. She has a lot of expertise in managing stress, anxiety, and all these things. She's a yoga instructor and a mindfulness instructor too. Am I right, Cynthia?
Yeah, yes.
Yes. So both Cynthia and I will share our strategies and techniques, and we do expect everybody to attend, so that you find ways that you can be a more well-balanced human being and be able to deal with all the stress and anxiety that you have to face, especially like in school. And so the weekly schedule looks like this. Like I said, we have our creative mentor meetings from 7:45 to 8:45 on Mondays and Thursdays. And we'll have our digital apprentice meetings from 8:15 to 9:15 also on Mondays and Thursdays. The social media team meets from 7:30 to 8:30 on Tuesdays, and the Austin Digital Heritage Project meets from 7:45 to 8:45 on Wednesdays. And if you're interested in the What Once Was project, just make sure to reach out to Cynthia and she will connect you with that. And the Help Dojo will be the second Tuesday of the month, from 6 to 7. And when we have creative pathways, we'll do all those as well. They'll take place either on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday during that 6 to 7 or 7:30 time frame. And we'll give you plenty of notice. So any questions? Comments?
I had a question. When can we expect responses back based on our applications?
So we should be able to start responding almost immediately. Duke is going to be the one responding, and he'll get you all set up. I have to set you up with the E for Youth account, so I'll do that part. But Duke will definitely be reaching out to you, and as soon as we get you an E for Youth account, you can start coming into the meetings, and we'll send you calendar invites so that they show up on your calendar. That's the other thing is when you come on board as a digital apprentice, we set you up with an E for Youth account using our Google Suite thing. So you get like 30 gigabytes of space as well as your own email address. And we send all our communications that way, as well as through Slack. And we invite you to our Slack channel so that you can join our various Slack channels and see everything that's going on as well.
Thank you. And I also had a question. Will the PDF slideshow be sent out to the participants so we can further review it after the meeting?
Sure, I can do that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Just shoot here. I'm gonna put my email in here. Just shoot me an email at umberto@eforyouth.org. I'm gonna put it in here in the chat and I'll send it to you.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Any other questions? Because I have a question for all of you. But any other questions? All right, so my question for all of you is tell us, introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your interest and your career interests, and also just your interests. What kind of things are you interested in? I'll start out by just telling you some of my interests. I mean, I was a classroom teacher for 18 years. I taught theater arts. I actually trained as an actor in college. My major is Spanish, which everybody told me was going to be worthless, and my minor ended up being theater. It took me 10 years to graduate from college, by the way. And then I taught 9 years over at Conley High School teaching audio video production because I've always hung around creative people. So I hung around filmmakers, musicians, graphic designers, writers, all kinds of those people, right? Then I met Carl, and while I was at Conley, and that's how him and I really credit Carl and E for Youth for really helping our students really connect with all the industries here in Austin and just be able to be exposed to them. And it did wonders for my students. But I also play guitar, as y'all can see behind me. And I'm in a band called Maria Bloom. And yeah, I do photography and videography too on the side. So when you're ready, just, yeah, introduce yourself, unmute yourself. And if you can turn on your camera, it'd be awesome. But if you can't, we understand.
You can
My
communicate in
name,
the chat as well. I'm sorry. Please
well,
go.
okay, don't worry.
Go for it.
I was gonna say, my name is Meba, and I attend UT, and my interests are implementing diversity into the animation industry, and that's my goals for my career and self-improvement is to work in fields like design and film and production, and work my way up to getting to that point where I can create in the industry.
Awesome.
Cool. What year are you in UT?
Second year.
Second year. Okay. Awesome, man.
Nice.
I was actually referred by Lily, who works here, to join.
Oh, okay.
I was
Cool.
definitely very interested after she described the roles and everything here.
Awesome.
Trying to get that bonus money.
Well, we're glad you're here, man.
Thank you.
This is definitely a space for creatives like yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Who else is here?
I'm here. I'm actually going to switch devices really quickly.
Okay.
Give me one moment. I will be right back.
Okay.
Somebody else want to go in the meantime?
Samuel, I saw you pop up.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Sam. I'm a senior at Aikens High School, and in the past few months, I've kind of got a lot more interested in writing, like short stories, just general stuff like that. I'm also a huge martial arts fan. I've been practicing Taekwondo for 12 years.
Okay.
And yeah.
Cool. So you're a senior at Aikens?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know about our Get Creative Club there on Monday
I'm
night?
in the Get Creative Club, yeah.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Cool, man.
Samuel, are you 18?
Not yet. I'll be 18 in 2 months.
Okay.
What school will you be going to when you graduate?
I'm going to be going to UT Dallas.
Okay.
And I'm going to study mechanical engineering.
Oh,
Great.
okay. Cool, man.
Right. Yeah.
Thank you, Samuel.
Of course.
And thank you, Miba. Right? That's how you say your name, Miba?
It's Meba.
Meba. Okay. Meba.
Yes.
Thank you, Meba.
No problem.
Ajani, is that how you say your name?
Yep, that is me. Hello. I know you
Hello.
can't really see my face. My microphone's kind of in the way, but I'm a Johnny. I'm actually also a musician. I go to Houston Tillotson University, which is confusingly in Austin. But it's just a small on-campus HBCU in downtown Austin. And I'm a music major. I play piano, guitar, and then I do computer stuff and recording, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm headed into I'm actually a music education major. I'm headed into the education field.
Oh, wow. Okay. Great to meet you. Well, just a little bit about me. I'm actually a musician. I have a music degree from UT Austin. Played in lots of different types of bands, led my own band or bands over the years. I'm retired now. I play every once. Well, actually, I play just about every day at my house, but not for other human beings other than my wife and my dogs. But that's awesome that you're a musician. Musicians rule the world. We don't get no money, but we still make culture happen. So good to have you here. Who else?
Can y'all hear me at all?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Megan. I'm a senior at UT and interested mostly like comics and animation, which is my career goals as well.
Great. Awesome.
Cool. Thank you, Megan.
Megan, did you go to high school in the Austin area, or are you just here for school?
Yeah, I grew up in the Austin area. I went to a tiny little high school in Wells Branch.
Awesome. Do I need to start calling names? Edgar Medina. Don't be scared. Not hearing any audio from you, Edgar. You can even type in the chat. I mean, you know, if you're really that shy or you just having some technical issues.
I don't want to speak for Edgar, but if he's the same Edgar Medina I'm thinking of, he and I are attending as part of the sister nonprofit that works with E4. Edgar and I both work at Austin Community College. And while both of us have been with the college for several years.
Oh, can you guys hear me now?
Oh, I can.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. I had some issues. I didn't realize my microphone was on the wrong setting.
Okay.
All right. Let me turn on my camera too while I'm at it.
All right.
All right, there we go. So sorry, yes, different Edgar. Me and my father, I share the same name for my father, but yes, I'm a completely different Edgar. All right, so I believe the question was just like my interest in my career goals. So basically, my career goals in the long term is to also, I forgot who said it, but also to work in like the film or gaming industry. But I'm sort of moving towards like the writing part because I'm a freshman at Sam Houston State University right now, and I am an English major. So one of the things I kind of want to do is in both industries is to be like the writer or like the kind of person who writes a storyboard. And that's kind of what I'm going for right now.
Great.
And if all of that kind of fails, my backup is to just be an English teacher. If everything else fails, I can at least do that because at Sam Houston, we have a really good education program. So I figured I could also do that.
Okay. All right. And you're at Sam Houston?
Sam Houston State University, yes.
Okay.
I'll tell you this, Edgar. You know, I had my degree after I graduated and I didn't know what I was going to do with it. But, you know, it was a teacher that actually convinced me to be a teacher. But I wanted to go to film school. Like I wanted to go to NYU or USC or UCLA, and I couldn't afford it. So I got this, that's why I took this gig at the high school teaching audio video production. That was my master's degree. Now, I don't have a piece of paper that says, hey, you got a master's degree, but it's all up here. Because when you teach, you have to master the stuff to be able to teach it. So in a way, I got paid to get my master's degree. So becoming an English teacher is not a bad idea at all.
No, I plan to get the degree in English, but what I do with it is what I'm thinking about. Because I feel like even with that degree, if like, you know, things happen, I'm not able to get the career goal that I want, I can still at least teach, which is something I do enjoy. I actually do love helping people with things. Sometimes I even tutor people with their essays now and then.
Great.
Yeah, no, I mean, I have my own production company, so I do my own production work, you know? And so, you know, I'd rather make a living really as a musician. So that's why I end up going into the film industry.
It's hard work, man, being a musician. Ain't got time for that. Carrying all them instruments and riding around in vans. Not my thing. Not anymore. I don't know, I'm the old Grinch that stole music or whatever, but I still love music. Who else? Who has not gone? Charla, you were introducing yourself, please.
Yes, thank you. So I'm here again, not as a student, but more as a sister nonprofit wanting to learn more about E4. And I have to say that this meeting is so inspiring and all the students here are so inspiring. If the world is divided into dichotomies of this or that, I am someone who's more of a numbers person more than creative. And I've always been so envious and jealous of creative people. So just hearing what you do and what drives you and your passion, it's very inspiring to me. I work in employer relations at ACC. So once the students gain the skills that E4 provides, then hopefully I can partner and help plug them into the employers that they're wanting to associate with. So thank you for letting me be here.
Glad to have you here. And there's lots of creativity in the numbers for good and for ill. Nat Hadaway, is that?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, my name's Nat. I'm a recent grad of UT, just graduated last semester. I mainly focus on 2D animation and concept design, but I'm also super interested in game design and storytelling, and I have a background in traditional painting.
Wow. Very cool. Looking forward to seeing your work. Thank you. Jamia?
Hi, it's Jamia.
Jamia, okay.
No, you're good. Okay. I'm so sorry for being late as well. I had another meeting beforehand, but I still wanted to come and apply. I am currently a sophomore at UT Austin. I'm a human ecology major and an informatics minor. And I was in a lot of creative stuff in high school. You know, I was in theater and, you know, I kind of just dwindled. So just seeing this kind of opportunity, because I feel, you know, a lot of the classwork isn't the same as actually being able to tangibly do creative projects and finding that the ability to even get portfolio work, because, you know, I find it's always, oh, we want people with experience, but how do you get experience? There's no one, you know, that first person to take that chance on you to give you that kind of tangible experience. And as for like specifics on things, I like writing too, honestly. I like creative direction, you know, putting together an entire project. So I'm just excited about being able to like try out like the little parts and see which one, you know, I like really like myself. Yeah.
Awesome. Wow. Okay. Man, this is an impressive group of people. Is that everybody? Am I missing somebody?
Hey, Carl, I can say something about myself if I can escape loud children and husband. Let me go to my other part of the house. Hi, everyone. I am in my kitty cat space apron, as I am at part of my life where the children in my life. But I haven't formally introduced myself. I am Janaea Zarad. I'm the Development and Operations Manager at E4 Youth. And I just want to say it's really great seeing you all participate in this meeting tonight. I'm really excited about all the talent we have in this virtual room right now. And I'm very inspired to see you all here. A little bit about myself. At heart, I am a creative. As a young person, I was super involved with music and theater, and was kind of deterred from that for a while because I thought I needed to do something that was practical, or you know, I was told that I was too tall and too ethnic looking to really have a long-term career in the creative space. So I ended up going to college and graduate school and, you know, doing the real career path thing. And I miss being an artist. And so I think coming to E4 has really helped and inspired me to get back in touch with who I am and give me an opportunity to support young creatives and their passions and pursuits. And I'm just really happy to see everyone here. And it's been a pleasure. And I'm glad that you all attended tonight. Thank you for making the time.
Absolutely. And Colin, did you go?
No, Carl, not yet. I'm sorry.
Well, you don't have to go, but if you want to talk about yourself for a minute, I think you're the only person that's left. So
1 second.
Okay.
In the meantime, does anybody have any questions? Any other questions?
Will this recording be made available to us?
Yes.
Okay.
How can they get it, Carl?
That's a really great question, Humberto. We'll publish it on the blog on the E4Youth website, and Cynthia will probably make it available from the front page.